Somebody said they are going to let not speak on them, period, because they desperate right now for any kind of attention. Oh no, the Most High wants you to know this, because this is what they trying to run a game on you. I'm not here to speak, like give them attention. I'm here to break down. I'm here to just crucify what they trying to do. That's what the Most High sent me for. He sent me to give you guys game on what they're trying to run on you right now. Because right now, they got court. You know, they're being like questioned about this evidence that was seen on this fraud RICO case. Big. This is big, right? So they trying to come in and according to you, I'm surprised y'all have not seen them, you know, going past your home with the copycat. I ran into 2 occasions of that where I seen them. And I also seen it in my dream. And I just shook my head. It wasn't no bad energy. You know, I didn't give no bad energy. And then it was another karmic, an older male that I had, you know, dated within a long time that I seen. And I folks just look straight up like warlocks. Okay. And the witch that they with looked just like a witch. Right. And, you know, I didn't do no bad blood, you know. I didn't show any negative energy. I just shook my head, and then the Most High was speaking. He was like ministering to me on what was taking place. He was like, you know, there's a plot going on, and I need you to understand what the plot is about. That's why you seeing them, you know, going past, and you seeing them, you know, in areas that you come across at. You seeing them, and there's a plot going on. Every time you seeing these karmics, there's a plot that they trying to run on you. So you can't be docile to, you know, what you're seeing. Okay? So I sat there and I was like, I know when I go to sleep, the Most High is going to talk to me within my sleep. And yes, he did. He told me that, you know, they need, you know, to talk to you guys. They need to talk to you about, you know, their part and what happened. And it's not going to be no talk, ma'am, sir. It's nothing you need to say to me, ma'am, sir. Nothing. We're here to kill Bill. Okay? No. I'm not. Then there's no bad blood. But I know enough to the point where I know what you're trying to do. We know you guys are coming because you're trying to get out card. There is no getting out card. See, the thing about narcissists is they don't want to take accountability for their actions. You're going to take accountability. Period. You're going to. And then the fact of they know it's like downhill for them because a lot of things are shutting down on them. Now it's really getting to them because it's like a lot of things are shutting down to where, you know, they used to, I can just go here and then I can have my way here. That's shut down. So then they moving around and it's like all this shutdowns and then here you come. Well, maybe if I can talk to her, maybe if I can talk to him, maybe I can, you know, it can see things. We ain't seeing, we see everything already for what it is. That's the whole thing that you're not getting, you know? And a lot of folks may have told them that, hey man, this may be the time that you got to take accountability for your actions. They don't want to hear that. So they come to you. See if they can work their little narcissist BS on you. Run the game on you. Sit there and look like, you know, like you're supposed to have sympathy for that. It's like, no, ma'am, sir. We don't have no sympathy for that at all. This is bogus. This is crazy. No. You're going to have to take that for real. You're going to have to take whatever that's given to you. That's what you're going to have to take. Period. You couldn't possibly think that you could just come and persuade you of something to get them out of something that they took the deal. They took the offer. Ma'am, sir, you didn't have to take the offer. That's the thing. That's the thing about offers. You can reject it. You don't have to take it. Remember what I told you guys in the last live yesterday. Remember the 2 options when you take a deal from the snake, the serpent. Understand what's going to happen is either your life or you're going to be in the pen for life. Period. That's it. There is no win. There is no, there's a rainbow at the end. There's some gold at the end of the rainbow. This is what's going to happen to you. when you take this offer. It's a trap. Remember what happened to Judas? He hung himself because he knew when he had took that gold, when he had took that offer to betray Christ, he knew that, man, I'm losing anyway. That was a lose-lose situation. I was never going to win anyway. When I took that, there was nothing good going to come out of that. What made you take it? You was already on the winning team, sir. It was when the winning team, you was with Christ. What made you? But then it's like I'm telling you, when whoever that this devil see that's close to you, like a friend, someone that you might have interest in, that you dating, and they not riding with, the Most High like you, they may become, your Judas. And that's what I was telling you guys. When you guys are on this path and you guys are, the child of the Most High, I'm talking about the son, the daughter, you guys need to be equally yoked with a son and a daughter of the Most High. I'm talking about strictly in the kingdom. I don't care if they got the same skin tone as you, and this ain't about skin tone. This is about literally a bloodline. This goes based off the spirit. This ain't got nothing to do with no skin tone. Don't get it fooled. It's people be getting it fooled that, oh no, that's my people because, we got the same. This person may have this spirit just like their father, this devil Lucifer himself. Remember, this is what the delusion was, that they painted, within when we came down here. This is what this big trap was. They wanted to trap you in so many delusions. They wanted you to be loyal to what looked like, but you failed to test the spirit. I got to keep going back to that verse. Test the spirit, not the outer appearance. We don't care about the outer appearance. We care about the spirit. What spirit that you possess of, who are you under? Because that's what's going to determine me on what I need to do next. Because you could be one Judas that was sent. Or you may become a Judas because you're not under the same master that I'm under. Remember, it's two masters. It's two different kingdoms. Two different creators. Right? And we don't want to end up being like, there's history books that was stating what happened to those people who didn't test what they needed to test. And they fell under. Because they believe that's my brother. They believe, oh, that's my friend. That's my sister. That's all these titles and all this outer, basing things off outer appearance. But what the Most High said, how we supposed to examine folks. Let's get that, at 100. Please. Because that's how you gonna go under. That's how this devil's going to, play a game on you. Get you trapped. Get you trustworthy. Really. I'm serious. I'm serious. I couldn't be serious enough, okay? Don't get persuaded by that outer appearance. Please test the spirit to see who these people really is of. And you know what? Christ even knew that Judas was going to betray him, right? Because he started testing his spirit. He said, watch when I put my plate right here. Watch this. Watch, he going to put his plate right here, right by mine. What happened? You could tell he was in competition with him because he was the only one. He said, everybody, put y'all plate over there. I'm going to put my plate over here. Everybody heard exactly what he said, but this snake didn't. I'm going to put my plate right here by yours. Who you think you is? That he knew this the one that's going to betray me. He knew it. Before it happened, he knew that was the one that's going to betray him. Y'all knew too. Half of the people that y'all was in contact with, or maybe y'all was going to build some type of, of loyalty in your relationship, friendship, with you like, man, my heart is not set with this one. It's just something about the way this person move, the things that they say, how they look at me, or, it's something that you caught and you knew that this person can't be trusted. This person will be that one that's going to betray me. This devil, he ain't even got to come. I know it. And from afar. Remember, you're being monitored, right? They need to know who's connected to you, and if they are, can I persuade them to go against them? Right? This is what he did with these people. So these people calling you back, trying to tell you that, well, this devil, they set me up. I didn't even, I wasn't really even in the thing. You can't even go back to my history of me even being a part of them. He just came at me. He tried to come at me at my job, and then sent this lady to me and this and that and this and that and whoopty. It doesn't matter. You still took the offer. It doesn't matter how they came up to you. It doesn't matter how they handled you at that time. You still was interested and you took the deal. You took the apple. We don't care. We don't care about what the devil and his people did. You still was in on it. Nobody forced you to do that. Are we not here with it? Nobody forced you to come and do what you did. And you went the whole way. You seen that thing the whole way through. And then when the outcome turned around for your worse, then now you want to plead the fifth. I'm sorry, I'm the victim. You only sorry because you got caught. We know that, Judas. I'm telling you, like the Bible is, it's a real book. Nobody can't tell me that's not a real book. Because the same stuff that happened is happening to us. The same, the chosen ones that walked around is like us. It's just we in a whole different generation, but it's us. We going through the same thing. With family, with friends, with so-called supposed to be, spouses and stuff who did this crazy bull crap. Why you think Christ didn't have, he couldn't really date? Because he's like, man, I can't trust no woman like that. I can barely trust a homeboy. I can't even trust my own mother. She run around here, she thinks she my God. This is Christ we talking about. Why are we going through the same thing Christ was going through? And this was back in decades that wasn't even no number. We going through it. Same thing. This devil tests everybody that came in contact with us, and they failed horribly. Took the deal. Took it. I'm talking about I'm going to think about it. Let me lay my head down and I'm going to get back to you. They took it right then and there. That's probably why they got blackmailed, because they probably got the video when they took the offer. They like, you remember you took this deal, because that's what this devil, he's low like that. If you're doing anything according to him, he's going to record that. So that, you can't be like, no, I didn't take it. Oh, do you want me to play the video? Do you want me to play the video when you took it? Because I got the footage when you took it and you was up in here in this organization, in this association, and you was up here taking part in this, taking part of that. We got the video. That's how this devil rolling. He's a messed up cat. You feel me? Like, you breaking bread with him. He got so many traps to blackmail you. All he looking for is to blackmail you. You think like, oh, you just doing regular just ordeals with him and this and that. No, he like, it ain't no out. You try to get out, we got footage. So remember when I was telling you the only options when you break bread and you take deals with this devil, there's no way out. It's either you or in the pen for life. That's it. He gonna make sure you can't get out, because everything that you contribute to or everything that you partake in is recorded. Got pictures, videos, recordings, all of it. He gonna make sure you're gonna be a flying monkey for him for eternity. Eternity. That's why it's like, when they betrayed you, they really set themselves up because they was on the winning team. They had something good and they know that. They like, man, how did my whole world, how did I get into this? It's like some of them are taking a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, to get themselves through, because right when they took that offer, their whole life just turned upside down. Like, they were just cool at one point. And it seemed like right when they, just like how that Judas, why do you think Judas hung himself? He was like, man, I was actually kind of cool. Like, I had a good, I had a good friend. We was doing good things. We was favored. It was, why did I do that? Like, why did I take that goal? Like, why did I take that offer and do that? He kept messing with him every day. And he was like, man, he just took himself out. He's like, I can't keep dealing with this day by day because this don't make sense in what I did. And that's how they feel. Okay, look, they get mad, y'all. They try to... Are we still on? Are we still on? It says I'm getting some. Thank you. Yeah, they getting mad. They trying to put all these things. So, yeah. We just talking about Christ. I'm trying to figure out what is the red flag. We just talking about Christ. I ain't said nothing that I ain't supposed to say. Unless you just triggered. Unless they just triggered, I don't know. But I ain't said nothing that I ain't supposed to say. Like I say, we talking about Christ. I don't know how they feeling. But yeah. Like I said, they feeling butthurt right now. They feeling big mad right now. But you should be mad at yourself. You should be mad at yourself. You get what I'm saying? Because you did it to yourself. Like I say, you didn't have to take the offer. Like I said, if this devil was to come to me and tell me about some giddy up or whatever that they had going on, with a person, I'm going to check you. Don't ever come at me like that. Whatever you got going on, and that just goes with anything, anybody. If you got something going on with this person, handle your business according to that person. Don't bring what you got going on, with another person, and you bring it with another person. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, you talking to her because I had da-da-da. Don't nobody want to hear that. Okay, that's what you got with this person. It could be lies, it could be the truth. I don't care. Don't bring that what you got going over there to me. That's disrespectful, it's toxic, and it's like, that's personal what you got going on. That ain't got nothing to do with this person. And people love to do that. And you got to check people on that so they know the boundaries of, you not with that. That's not going to persuade me of, and it could be 9 times out of 10, they lying. When you got people doing that, they either could be hating on somebody, they've been hating. They got some envious, going on within that person. And they don't want to see that person, have nothing. They don't want to see that person having, something good. They don't want to see nothing, good happen to that person. They say you a good friend. They see you somebody good. They want to break it, and then try to plant something in your head to make you feel like, oh, I need to do something to this person. I need to leave. But don't allow them people to do that to you. Don't allow them. Yeah, trying to, yeah, exactly. We see, with real people like us, that's why it's like, it's always a bunch of setups according to the real people that's on earth. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't play with us like that. So they want to, put us in some type of program, and doing all these hidden tactics. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't play us. So they try to get other people to play you. They come to the ones that they can play games with. Because they know they can't play games with. They know that you're going to check them. You're going to check them quick and embarrass them. So they like, man, we got to figure out who going to play the game with them. Because they ain't going to play the game. Yeah, I'm trying to read it. But yeah. Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's a spirit thing. It's really not a outer appearance type of thing. Like, don't ever let, folks deceive you. Don't ever let this snake, to be honest with you, deceive you and put in a category of what you're supposed to be looking at, and that is your way of determining. Don't look at it like that. The Bible states, test the spirit by the spirit to see who an individual is. You need to examine their spirit on the inside. Don't let nobody, random person, walk up to you and then they got this ordeal look, or or whatever to them, and that's supposed to be a pass. No, ma'am, sir. No, I have not. That doesn't mean anything. Because think about it, when Christ was going around here, it was people that did not look like, they were the son of the Most High or the daughter of the Most High. They didn't look. You would never think that. They even didn't think Christ was. They were like, you ain't no son of the Most High. Nothing about you looked like no son of no Most High. What are you talking about? And then the people that he was, the 12 disciples, they did not look like. No, you would never. So you can't go by outer appearance. Because a lot of them, did not. And where they met and where Christ met them at, you would never think. Yeah, he did not meet them in no church. Let's just say that. None of the disciples, he didn't met not one in no church. So you already know that was an organization. He ran. That was the first time you seen Christ even get mad, when he flipped that table over, because he was in that church and they didn't like what he was saying. They called him all out his name. So who where the real ones actually at and how they look. It's not a look to them. It's a spirit to them. You gotta know. He said, you gonna know me by my spirit. You know who the Most High is by who spirit, who's in who in the spirit. You gotta know. Don't go off of no outer appearance and go off with all that. Oh, this person look like this. The Most High children don't look like of nothing. You can't detect. We ain't got no look to us. We got a spirit to us. A strong spirit. You gonna know. You gotta know his spirit. He got a strong, potent spirit. And it could be within a woman. It could be within a man. You're going to know. Ma'am, sir. You gotta know his spirit. And this is what they don't want you to know. They want you to go by how they want you to go by. So you could be caught up in a trap. I go to church and all that. You know what goes on in the church? Have y'all seen Pastor McNutt? How long had that man been in the church? What, TD Fakes? Wasn't he at the Diddy party? Wasn't all them pastors and stuff at the Diddy party? Didn't they have a whole room there? They didn't even have to knock on the door. They had an actual room in Diddy house. Robes on, everything. And you telling me that there's like a look, or there's like a way that you could determine from the outside of who's of who? Are you crazy? We going by the spirit, ma'am, sir. We're going by the spirit. All these fakes and all these hypocrites out here. And they trying to get you in a way of, if they doing this, then they gotta be. That's not how Christ found his 12 disciples, ma'am, sir. He found them in places that you would think a child of God would not be at. 9 times out of 10, that's where they're at. And the only reason is because they wanted to stay away from the hypocrites. They didn't want to be around fakes. You know what I'm saying? It's like some places, I know y'all witness, some places that some people say don't ever go, you meet the realest people there. Why is that? And then the places that they tell you to go that is supposed to be like the real people, you never meet nobody there. It seems like the places that folks will tell you you're not supposed to go and don't go here, you end up meeting some real, actual, real people. It's something going on. It's some traps going on. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of traps, and it's a lot of programming down here as well. They want you to be programmed to what they feel as though, is the image and what is the good and what is supposed to be good and what is supposed to be bad. That all that crap is flipped. They got the people that's supposed to be the people that's supposed to be in these standing in leadership and all that. They got them somewhere else. They place the ones in leadership is standing in the face of supposed to be the most high. You already know where they is. You already know who they are. Okay? All I got to say is hide your children. That's what I got to say. You trusting the wrong people. Don't let them folks touch you. Don't let them folks pray over you. Don't let them folks speak over you. None of that. This is crazy. We got to wake up again. You know what I'm saying? We got to renew our minds as it's stated in Romans all over again. I love that. I so love that emoji. That is the most cutest emoji. I'm serious, you guys. I can't say that enough because at some point you will have to even teach your children this as well, because the programming is so real right now, and they're really trying to attack children. They're trying to, get you away so that when you drop your kid off, they can start, doing all these programmings, to where your children now is going against you. Your children now feel like you the enemy. Like, this is what they're trying to do. So you got to watch that. You got to pull your kid out for a year and say, man, you ain't going to go back to maybe until you already know. So I know that you up here with it. Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, we need to hear for a lot of people who know about this. We need to hear you. We really do. Because again, it's a lot of programming going on. And it's a lot of traps. If we read, the Bible, because we are followers of Christ, of Yah, right? So when he was telling us his story, because all the book is a bunch of stories, right? And he told us his story of how his path and his journey was. We can just imagine how ours was. And what we being taught out here based off of the person we actually supposed to be following and what he said and how his life was, and they telling us to go against what we are supposed to be, how we supposed to be looking at things. And that's supposed to be our follower, right? Like we supposed to follow him, right? And they're trying to program us to go another way. This is what I'm speaking about. Because it ain't sounding right. Then what I'm reading and who I'm supposed to be following and what you're trying to teach out here is totally different. And then stuff is getting exposed, and the leaders that are positioned to be in this character turn out to be a what? Turn out to be a who? Now on media's apologizing. Oh, everybody make mistakes. You know, I ain't perfect. I never said I was perfect. What are you even doing in a position? How are you even authorized to be in this position that you're in? Who told you you was acceptable? So we already know who you working for. We already know who you of. So you trying to get everybody under this one, under this, this one order. But you ain't telling us though. You get them, y'all know what I'm saying. You know, they're not telling us exactly who they want us to be under. You know, because when we read the book, ain't nobody going off of the Most High. So who do y'all want us all to be under? It seemed like y'all want us to be under this serpent. Because when we reading, nobody following what the Most High said. He did not say conduct yourself like this. He didn't say partake in organizations. He didn't say go ahead and take an offer and sell out to this and do that. That's not what he said. And then you guys are doing things on different days that he did not even say the days that were blessed. You're doing things on the days that are cursed. So who are we worshiping? Who are we praising? Who are we showing up for? You get what I'm saying? This is what you got to teach your kid. This is not the ways of the Most High. Nothing. Nothing down here is the ways of the Most High. It seems as though they want you to be programmed to another God. Somebody that we don't know, but they know. This is what I'm speaking of. And then they looking at all the ones who are moving according to how we supposed to move, and that's a problem. Yeah, all these sacrifices. Who said that's not the ways of the Most High. That's not how you get somewhere. That's not how you're supposed to make something happen, by selling out. You said, but black women hate their reality. That's how it's been since day one. Black women, every black person don't hate their reality. And the ones that do hate their reality, they're not going by the Most High. It's going to be hard for them. If you don't go by the Most High, it's going to be hard for you. If you're a man or a woman, either way, either one. If you're going under the ways of this serpent, he's going to make it hard for you. He is. He's going to. That's why in Matthews, the Bible states you need to pick a master. You can't serve two masters. You either hate one or love the other, or love one and hate the other. You got to pick. You got to pick. You can't do that. That's why you see a lot of, if we're talking about black women or black men, you see a lot of they are suffering very bad right now because they now got to turn back to the Most High and they got to start over. You can always come back because this is really who you're under. He waiting on you to come back so he can clean you up again, and get you where you need to be. Not over here, not with all this mess. You ain't supposed to be out here having all these baby daddies and all these kids, and you gotta, they taking you off of the government assistance and all this, and that's not the ways of how we do things in this kingdom over here, ma'am, sir, ma'am. Same with the so-called black men. You not never supposed to be out here in these streets going back and forth, left to right and back, especially with these heathen women in the land. These are strange women. The woman that don't have the spirit of Christ and the Most High, these are strange concubine women. You already know what they're going to do to you. They're going to make sure you have nothing. They're going to get you comfortable, make it seem like, you could trust them, and, same thing they did our forefather Samson. Oh, you could trust me, and, I love you, and this and that, and then rob you. You wake up, you ain't got no hair. The girl shaved your hair, took everything away from you, everything you got. Make sure you can never bounce back. And then they will come back and try to do it all over again if you let them back in. Remember, the Most High had to go ahead and visit Samson. He said, Samson, my son, didn't I tell you? You're not supposed to be out here, telling people, oh, your secrets and sleeping with you. You don't know this lady. They sent this lady to do this to you. Look how you look. Look what she did you. This is a concubine, strange woman. I don't know her. You're supposed to be picking women that I know. Even David's, David's son, he cursed the whole bloodline. The Most High had to visit, David's son. What's his name? What's David's son in the Bible? What is David's son? It's Solomon. Solomon had went with so many concubine women that he had cursed the whole bloodline. The Most High had to literally cut Solomon off because he kept visiting him. He kept visiting him and said, hey man, you bringing all these strange women all up in the kingdom. You don't know they serving other gods. They're not even serving. You pick a woman that don't even serve me, right? To the point where Solomon got so lost into all these thousands of women, concubine women, that the Most High had to literally cut this man off. He said, man, I can't even deal with you anymore. I have to cut you off because you cursing the bloodline. You actually having children by these women too. You're cursing the bloodline. Come back to your God, because they gonna do that to you every single time. It's the ways that we supposed to be. We got like literally laws and stuff that how we supposed to how to go by in the land. We got laws that we must obey by, and it's really not for the Most High. It's really for us because it keeps us, protected. Because if we go outside of them laws, that's what's going to happen to us. He already showed us exactly, if you go outside of this, that's what's there for you. That's going to happen. And then you come across a lot of brothers and sisters, I'm talking about the ones that have the spirit. We're not on the outer appearance. We're talking about the one who have the spirit of the Most High. So you like, okay, that's a sister over there. That's my sister. That's my brother over there, right? And, they crying, weeping, the same stuff that happened before time. Oh, he must have got into it, with a Delilah or some type of concubine, a strange woman, or she must got into it, with a warlock, and he dogged her out, and went in, and she kept going after one warlock, she'll go with another warlock, and it's just like, when are you gonna stop? Like, when you gonna come back? Like, when are you gonna come back? Because the Most High, he always waiting. He told us how we supposed to conduct ourselves in the land. He said, I'm going to send you to a land, but I'm going to send you some laws, just like he sent all our forefathers. He sent them laws. Oh, thank you. I love you too. Man, he sent Samson. He said, hey, I'm going to send you to this land, right? But I'm going to tell you exactly what you can't do and you cannot do. He always sending us to a land, but he always tell us what we could do and what we can't do. Because if we do not abide by this, we know what's going to happen. We know it. We can't go about here and do like that with everybody else, because we're not from where they're from. Originally, we are literally in a kingdom. Like, we really are royal, from a royal bloodline, right? Okay, and we can't mix with just random people. We can't go about we can't do that. There's consequences. There's big consequences for our actions. That's why they be like, oh, so why didn't Epstein? Why didn't he get the same as R. Kelly and P. Diddy? Why? Because we're not the same. We will get punished 1,000 times as much as anybody on earth. That's how you know who actually, are the ones that is going to always get dealt with. You always going to get messed up. I'm here to tell you. Yes, you're going to get the most. I'm telling you, when you are doing something that you're not supposed to do, of course, you're going to get punished more likely worse than anybody. Yeah, R. Kelly, you're finished. You're going to. Nobody ain't even gonna even know about, Epstein. All they gonna know about is R. Kelly, P. Diddy, and all the other rest of them. He aired the whole America Most Wanted or wherever you at is gonna have your name there. It's gonna have your picture there. The Most High not playing about his people. You're gonna get punished. You're doing something that you're not supposed to do, you're going to get punished. The focus will be on you, not them. Exactly. He still live in Colorado. He still living his life. Everything. Because the thing is, that's not the Most High's child. That's the devil's child. He's doing, the devil is going to constantly reward him. The Most High not rewarding his people. That's embarrassing. To see, that's embarrassing. Even though he turned he washed his hands, saying, because they did pick a side. He did pick, he took the offer and he sold out. And, R. Kelly and PD, they did sold out. But they still gonna get punished. They're still gonna get punished. The worst. Because he's using it. You got used by the snake. You could go to the snake all day. That don't mean that he's gonna have your back. He not. That's how this thing goes. That's why it really don't pay to, but like I said, there's free will. It's free will. You can pick whatever you pick, but I'm just letting you know, there's no trust or there's no loyalty over there. You will get dogged out. Every single time. So, it's just when we gonna learn. That's just really what it comes down to. It's like, when we gonna learn. I had studied this a while ago, and I knew that I'm gonna stick to them laws. I'm going to stick to them statutes and them commandments, because going outside of that, it's just a bunch of hell. It just setups. It's traps. All you are going to be surrounded by is your enemies. When you go outside of them laws and you thinking like, oh, I can do this and I can do that, just know that you're getting set up, ma'am, sir. This is a setup. And you're about to get ambushed. Because right after one get done with you, they going to tell their little snake friend, and they gonna try to get a piece of you as well. Don't think you just came up and you just, no. That's not how this thing works according to their kingdom. Remember, they always telling a friend. They don't mind sharing. They don't mind sharing. That's how dirty and disgusting they is. That's a kingdom that I can't mess with. I can't get with. I can't get with that over there. It had me itching. For real. How they get down. They don't mind sharing. They don't mind swapping. They don't mind doing nothing. That's why the Most High, like, how can you even leave, with how I created you, and you go over there, you know what I'm saying? And, he like, somebody said, what we talking about? You must have just came on here. You might have to go back to the replay, because it's been too much information. It's already been a lot of information said, but, I'm just here to tell you guys that when you are getting these calls, these phone calls, understand, these random phone calls that you don't know where it's coming from. It's coming from these people that's in trouble and need your help. They ran out of the resources that could help them. They ran out of that. So right now they need your help. They need your sympathy. They need your empathy to help them get out of the offer that they took with this snake. Instead of just taking accountability for what they did, you know, they are running back to you, you know, to see if you can get them out of this. And that's a big no-no. You're going to have to take accountability for what you signed up for. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the Most High will always have you a treat over here. He'll be like, you know what? If he sent you over here, he like, you know, yeah, you going to have it in for you in a rude awakening over here. I'm telling you, a rude awakening. Like, oh my gosh. Like Most High, he has no filter over here. He let you know what's on game. You're not gonna be no idiot. You're not gonna be dumb. Your whole if you had any blindness or you had any fogness according to you, oh, it ain't gonna be no more. Oh, it's not gonna be no more. The veil is gonna be taken. All types of stuff gonna be just if you were chained down, that's breaking. You know, everything gonna be breaking. That's why, you know, it's a lot of spiritual warfare on this channel, because, you know, this adversary, he know how we coming over here. He knows. Oh, you feel so much better. That's good. That's good. That's a blessing. That is such a blessing, you know, to know that, you know, eyes is open. You know, you could take something back according to what was said. That is amazing. That is, man, like, all praises to the Most High. Seriously, I love to hear that. You know, because this devil, he works so hard to get these blinds, to get you blinded to everything. You know, he don't want you being awakened. He don't want you looking, you know, with spiritual eyes. You know. Yeah, they do. It's a lot of spell work that they work on, you know, the divine. You know, that all they do is hire witches to just keep going in on you, keep going in on you to keep you asleep. They want you sleep. They don't want you awaken. They want you just sleep the whole way through. You know, because once you start waking up, you know, that's it. What can they do? It was all fun and kikiing when you was asleep. But when you awaken, ain't nothing. They can't do nothing. All of this is done. You know, and the thing is, that's why I always bring up, you know, the boundaries of the laws. You know, because that keeps these devils out. When you commit, you know, that you put up that line in the sand and you going according to what you could do and what you can't do, and the people that you're not supposed to be, you know, talking to or have nothing to deal with, oh, that's really a problem. Because they wanted you to have this free, you can just do whatever you want to do. There is no laws. Everything has been done away with. Like, we could just go and run around. We can run free. So they can, you know, set you up in all these traps. When we obedient and we obeying and we walk in the course of how we supposed to walk, they know they ain't got no chance. But when you outside of the laws, I'm telling you, here, saying, go over there. He's sending them. He's sending all these agents to you. You know, we read the good book. He did that to all our forefathers and foremothers. Start sending all these strange people, you know, to God's people. They try to take them down. All it was people that Most High, like, I don't even know this person. What is this person doing with my son? What is this person doing with my daughter? You know, and then the Most High, he's showing you, but these witches had been working on your mental and having you sleep. You can't even see. You don't know who that is because you sleep. You ain't awoke. You don't know who that person is that you connected to. And then it got all these titles. That's my best friend. You know, she like a mom to me. He like a dad to me. Not knowing that if you actually was awakened to who these people actually is, you would run for your life. But you asleep. You don't know. When I get there. She always wants to. Yeah, don't answer. Don't answer no random calls. Don't allow just random people to just come to your house. You know, if you see these people even out here, you know, like they know how to this person going to the grocery store, they going to the corner store, they try to meet you there. Do not talk to these people. You know, you can gently say, you know, you have a good day. You know, it ain't no bad blood, but you have a good day, ma'am. You have a good day, sir. You know, don't be. I want to say, no. Don't allow them to get you into no position where you know they talking to you. No, don't talk to them. For you know it. You know these are Judases. You know these are criminals. You don't even want to be taken. You don't want to be caught. You know, seeing with them because you know that they're gonna try to take a picture. You know, with you and them. They're gonna try to take a picture. They're gonna have somebody. They're gonna try to come close to you, like you know, y'all talking or whatever. And you like. You know, you listening, all of a sudden somebody took a picture as if y'all cool or something. No, I don't give them no second. Okay, what they in and what they chose is what they chose. Don't allow them to come, you know, speaking to you, saying nothing to you. There's nothing you could say. There's nothing you could say. You know, you already made your bed. Now you got to lay in it, period. You know, my whole bloodline was beefing with the Most High. My whole bloodline been beefing with the Most High, and the Most High been so disappointed, you know, with my bloodline. It's not. I'm talking about both bloodlines, from my father's side and my mother's side. Just really not. He's not happy with none of them, because what happened is they believed in this devil, then they believed in the Most High. Some of my people don't even believe in the Most High. They think that, you know, they would believe in the government, and they'll believe in this devil way before, you know, they believe in the Most High. That's why they don't respect him. Yeah, these churches, I don't even see how you could even go in there. You know, me personally, I feel like that's total just a mockery. You know, they are not under the Most High. If you even bring up one law, they'll tell you that these laws are done away with. Like the Most High, he doesn't want you to do that because, you know, Christ came and he done away with the law. This is what they will say. So I personally had to walk away. Because me personally, I'm not going to be under nobody but the Most High. So if you're telling me that what he's saying to me is done away with, I'm going to have to be done away with you. I'm going to have to leave you. Because now I feel as though you're under a whole different a doctrine of somebody that I don't even know. So I got to get away. You know, I don't want to take part in this. So I personally had to tell my people. At the time, I was like about 15 years old. I had to tell, you know, my people that I would not be, you know, showing up here because I don't know who they stand for. I don't know who these people stand for. And when I'm up here clapping my hands and all this stuff, I don't know who I'm clapping my hands to. I don't know who I'm saying amen, hallelujah to. I don't know. I don't want to be a part of none of that. I told her, I said, there's no way I'm going back. I'm stepping foot in that building ever again. You know, I'm telling them what I thought our God said, and they talking about that's something that I shouldn't even be talking about because whatever he said is done away with. So who are you under? If all his stuff that he said, the laws and everything that we have to go by is done away with, what are we standing on? What are we doing? What are we going by? Are we just lawless people? Because if we ain't got no laws to stand on, what are we going by to keep ourselves protected by the enemy? If he say that we can't go ahead and do this, and you saying it's done away with, what are we going by? Oh, we ain't here to be going back and forth. That's good, because I'm about to get up out of here. You ain't ever got to, you don't have to see me again, ma'am, sir. Because I'm not here for you to be trying to initiate me to somebody that you serving that I have no clue of who I'm under. This is the brainwashing that, they want you to attend to. Instead of them telling you that they worship, this serpent, this seed of this adversary here. They want to brainwash you. They want to program you instead of just keeping it real on who they serve, because they know they serve who they serve, right? But they don't want to tell you, because that's going to be that's going to bring a lot of, commotion, and, people are going to start finding out, But I knew at a young age that they wasn't serving the Most High when they told me the things that he said was done away with. So basically you're saying the Most High is done away with, right? Because you're saying what he's saying is done away with. So basically y'all doing away him. You ain't under him no more. You under whoever, this image, whatever you under this. And they can't even tell us what laws they stand on, because didn't they just say the laws were done away with? So what laws are you standing on? Have y'all ever asked them people that? Because they so quick to say that. Laws are done away with. So what laws are you standing on? Because remember, it wasn't just 10 commandments in the Bible. I believe it was 625 that I'm still under. And I tried to stay under it to the best of my abilities. If I gotta repent and start all over again, that's what I'm gonna do. Because that's the covenant that we are under according to the Most High. But to them, they not under that. And I don't know what they under, but I don't want to be a part of it. I had to, separate myself, because I didn't want to be a part of it, because they didn't tell me. I kept asking, and they didn't tell me. They never told me. But I know it's not the Most High, because they don't go by what he say. They said it. They we don't go by that. So I don't want to be, you ain't about to get me in trouble. Have me up here stomping my feet and clapping my hands to some other guy that I'm not even under. Yeah, they be doing a bunch of witchcraft in there. They be doing a lot of witchcraft in those buildings to make you keep going. Why do you think so people go? They don't learn nothing. They don't know nothing, and they ain't learn nothing, but they be going there for years, because within that building, if they constantly doing witchcraft on the people to keep them going there, but they ain't learning nothing. They're not awakening to nothing. They don't know no knowledge of nothing. All they know is the little rituals that they do in there. They may water down, a verse in the Bible, and then have people feelings all wrapped up in it, because they already know who going through who, because them people told the pastor of what they was going through, so he already know what sermon he gonna do, because that's gonna touch, that's gonna touch the people who going through that. And they're like, well, then they add on, well, we ain't perfect, and make them feel good about their sins, and make them feel good about the bad things that they have done. All this, I just was not here for it, y'all. I was not here for none of that. Because that's not even the spirit of the Most High. That's not even the spirit of Christ. They ain't had no spirit. I didn't feel the Most High spirit in there at all. I felt a bunch of bootleg bull crap that I was wasting my time being there. I would literally be falling asleep in there. And it's crazy, because when the Most High, when it's really the spirit of the Most High, you can't go to sleep. You're going to feel it all throughout your body. You ain't going to be asleep. You're not going to feel like, your energy is drained. None of that. You're going to feel alive. You're going to feel, it's just an energy that's going to hit you that is just out of this world. So I knew that wasn't of the Father. I knew that was something else they got going up in there. And like I say, it may be for them. Maybe they sold out to that. Maybe. But that's not for me. That's what I could say. That's not for me. I told my people, I'm telling you, when I was like 15, 14, I said, hey, you guys could go if y'all want to. But y'all would not see me back in there. And then like a week later, they stopped going. A week later, I woke up. I was like, y'all ain't going? Y'all not going to church or whatever? Like, no, we're not going to church. And they was all, so the spirit had hit them. So maybe that was a curse that maybe I needed to break, so that folks, so that that awakening could rise up on my people, so that they understand that our God is not in there. The Most High is not in there. We go in there and you seeing some other, you're a part of something else. That's not him. Why you think, Christ, he left the churches. He like, man, my father not in here. He flipped the table over. He left. He never came back. He never came back. You didn't, after that part that happened, you did not read that he went back to a building and dealt with them people in that building. Because basically the people there was letting him know that, hey, we don't go by what you're going by. Whatever you're saying to us and whatever you're trying to put on this table, we don't go by that. We go by a whole different doctrine. So when he found out that they're not under his father, he flipped the table and he left. Yeah, it's like you're not the only one. A lot of his people got to come back to him, because they worked so hard to get, get us away from, the Most High. They worked so hard to get us far away from him as possible. But the thing about our spirit is we always going to, cry after, we always going to cry, for the Most High. Our spirit and our soul, that's where it's at with the Most High. So we're always going to find him again. We're going to be looking for him. He know that. He like, my people is going to seek to find me. It doesn't matter how far you bring, my daughter, my son away, they always going to look and seek for me, and they're going to find me again. You can't keep them far away from me, and that's right. Literally, like I was like really craving for him, at one point to where, I seeked him every day and I found him. Because it was like so many pulling and tried to hide me away from him and tried to, put me somewhere that they thought that I was never going to find him and wake up to who I was and where the Most High was. And that failed. I woke up to who I was and I found him again. Like we never left. Yeah, every day. Yeah, exactly. We're here. And this devil mad because he thought that, we need to be here. No, you were nowhere to be found, sir. Like the Bible states, you only supposed to be under our feet. You only supposed to be our footstool. That's where you're supposed to be at. If you're wondering what's your position is we stepping on you. That's where your position's at. If y'all look at every picture in the Bible and they seen where the snake was, remember the snake don't even have no feet. All they do is slither on the ground. So you're bound to step on the snake because they're on the ground. This is where he's at. This is where these snakes are at. They're on the ground under your feet. You stepping on them every day. That's their position. That's their role. He want to take the Most High role so bad. That would never happen. Ever. You would never be the Most High. You would never play that role. I mean, when are you going to get the reality of everything? It's like we got to tell him every day what his role is. Every day. We got to tell this snake every day his role, because he really feel like he's up there with the Most High and we supposed to be dealing with him as such. Or we supposed to be under him. So the programming goes. But the Most High, like he said, he done something with us in here. Like he sealed something within our hearts, to make it where we were going to always awaken. As much as they try to program and they try to, get us to submit to this, we always going to bounce back, and that awakening is going to overtake us to where, we're going to be back under the Most High once again. It was like that ever since you was a child. That's why they outcasted you, because you outcast yourself before they outcast you. You told them people no. You kept saying, I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to do this. That's what the real outcasting came from you. Because that's not where your heart was. Your heart was always with the Most High. You know, and this is what this devil knew. He knew, he like, man, I can never change and transform him or her. Like they always, the Most High this, the Most High that. Even though you didn't know the Most High when you were younger, you still was departing from all these devils. They'll try to come and try to link up and connect with you. You will start stepping back. No. I don't want no part. I don't want to be there. You didn't show up. Everybody showed up. They asking you, what happened to so-and-so? Where's so-and-so? Didn't I just say I don't want to have no part in this? So I guess actions speak louder than words. So I guess now I'm going to have to start showing you guys with my actions that I don't want to partake in none of this. That's why, you was never to be found nowhere. Because you already separated yourself before folks start separating you. You already separated yourself. Oh no, he had his 12 disciples. He wasn't always by himself. He had 12 disciples with him. And then he had I think Mary Maybelline, she was there at his feet the whole time. The woman that they said she was working, as a worker, and then all she needed was, for Christ to show up. She was with him the whole time. She was with him the whole time. I'm talking about when he had rose from that, when they tried to crucify him, she was like the number one. She was the one that was there at the front row. Like when he rose from the grave or whatever, she was there. She took her hair and she wiped his feet and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like he had like some real loyal ones, with him, when he was down here. It was a lot of betrayal, but he had, some ones. I remember, I think Peter, had cut somebody ear off for him. He had some real ones lined up, even though, Peter was wishy-washy or whatever, but he still had some loyal ones there, on his team. He did. It was betrayal, but it was a lot of love as well, So, and that's why I was telling, that's why I was telling, a lot of brothers and sisters as well that, you not going to be alone, for long. You know what I'm saying? Like, as you not, you know what I'm saying? You're going to run it too. He's going to confirm. He's going to confirm to you on who's supposed to be in your team and who not, But you got to keep that discernment, because as long as you have snakes around you, the Most High will not allow, nobody of one of his to attach itself to you. You got to drop all these snakes. If you still got snakes around you, understand what you need to do. In order to have some real ones around you, you got to get rid of the fake. You can't be around, dibble dabbling with some snakes. That already showed you their true color. They already showed you. They are not to be trusted. They are not loyal to you. They are literally your enemy. You know what I'm saying? Yep. She said the 12 tribes of Benjamin. Yep. So you know about the 12 tribes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to be speaking of the 12. That was crazy, because I was going to start speaking of the 12 tribes, because no, people don't even talk about the 12 tribes, So I was going to, speak about that. Yeah, we all from, the 12 tribes, There's Benjamin, there's Levi, there's Judah, there's Manasseh. I'll start speaking of that, because it's a lot of history that a lot of you guys, you need to understand, and who your actual people really is. And it has nothing to do with color. Please stop with the color stuff, okay? It's the spirit. A lot of your people really don't actually have the same, but you guys are connected because you guys have that same spirit of the Most High, same spirit of Christ. Well, you probably will be leaving that small town, very soon, because I already had a dream about the Most High. He's relocating his people less than a month now. It's just going to happen out of nowhere. It's not something that, you need to think about, but because the Most High, he going to do it. But he going to start relocating, a lot of us because, it's the cycle ended, whatever that you needed to do in this city, town, state, it's done with. That cycle has ended. You did good. You stood 10 toes, straight up warrior. You exposed what you need to expose. You stood 10 toes. You gained back your power, that folks maybe tried to take. You gained it all back. You awakened to a higher, individual, because you stayed there to grow. Because understand that these devils, they help you grow. The more adversity that you face, that's the training grounds that the Most High wanted you to stay in, so that you can be and become a certain level to where he needs you to be at, so that you could take off to the next, but you had to be at a certain level and a certain, way that the Most High wanted and called you to be. So he sent these devils to help you become that. Period. He already told me. He already told me that was the reason, for all of us. But he specifically was ministering to me. And he told me that's the reason why. I needed you to learn certain things, and I needed you to come up. So I did use them. I used them. Because you have to learn a lot. You have to learn a lot. And I did learn a lot here. I learned a lot here. And I also grew here too. I grew so, at a high level that I never thought I would actually reach. So it's the reason why he wanted me to stay here, because this was the training. This is where all the training was supposed to be. It was. You could tell the difference of how you are. You're not the same. You're a completely different breed. These devils got you on the highest level that you never thought you would reach, according to your awakening. You awakened out of this world. You're not in the same 3D. That's why all these, 3D, devices that he's been using, it doesn't work on you. You will just think about it. It's the end of this cycle, because everything that used to work don't work on you no more. You outgrew everything. You gotta move, because you outgrown everything. There is nothing that you need to learn here, because nothing works. Exactly. Nothing works. They've been and tried that, went try to do that same cycle on you again, and they all feel embarrassed. They like, well, we might as well move on, because this is done. This is done with. Yeah. Oh, you said yeah. Oh, they have a different language barrier. Oh, wow. Then you must really be a powerful individual to stay in a place where, is that, it's like, that far, different from you. That's powerful, because I know a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people can't go nowhere, where it's like that. Yeah, and that's probably why that makes sense. That's the reason why you was chosen to go there, because of that, you taking down that covenant. Yep, that coven. Because I know I have this. It was about like 6 or 7 that I had to take down. It was about 6 or 7 in where I'm at. They all tried to come, and they got dropped right back down. Oh yeah, they definitely in them churches. They definitely are in them churches. They really try to convert you in them churches. It's all about converting. Into that other, God of whatever that they serve. They still can't tell me the name, because I still don't know who that thing is that they under, that they want everybody else to be under. I must have walked out. I must have walked out like that just cracked me up because I was so mad. I stormed out of there like, man, like there was a red carpet that I was walking under. I must have I was like, man, I am so through. I am so done. Like, these people got me so messed up. Man. I was so mad, man. You know how you had that leather coat? I had that leather coat and I said, ugh. And I just walked out. I walked out so hard. Man, like I'm talking about, I just stumped. I was stumping. I was so mad because it was like, I just kept getting convicted because, and I was so, my emotions was tied in it too. Cause I'm like, why is these people playing with me? Every time I ask a question, they'll try to like override, like total disrespect, bro. Like I felt like I was so disrespected. You know, I said, let me get up out of here. And then it's crazy because one of the pastors, he like, we need you on stage. We need you on stage to, I said, you don't want me on stage, sir. You do not want me on stage. Your ringleader will have a talk with you. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, I'm thinking like, no, your ringleader will definitely probably fire you if I go on stage. Because somebody must have told them about how I was speaking, for, the Most High or whatever. Because at that time, I still was, speaking. I was still doing videos and stuff. So someone probably there had told them that, yeah, she actually to speak for the Lord and all this. So he was like, yeah, when you gonna get on stage, you know what I'm saying, and say, a few words to us. And I was like, I'm thinking in my head, like, you don't want me to go on stage. I'm not programmed, right? I'm going to say something that is against whatever y'all believe. They probably gonna do me like, if I would have got on stage, they probably would have did me like they did Christ. probably would have started throwing stuff at me. Boo! Boo! Like it would have been a whole crucifixion up in there. It probably would have been a whole crucifixion. Like, who is she? Who is she? Who did you let in? Exile! I wish I would have got up on there. That would have been the worst decision I would have ever made. I'll just leave, sir. I'll just leave. Yeah, I'll leave. I would never. Yeah, I think he was really trying to set me up. That's what I really thought it was. Because anybody would be like, oh, the pastor want me to get on stage? I know better. That was straight up mockery. He was trying to set me up so that folks up in there probably would have tried to crucify me. Because nothing that I would have said would have made any sense to them, because they're not under, what I would have been talking about. Because I would have said everything the Most High said. I wouldn't have said something that made somebody feel good in the church. I'm not speaking of a feel good sermon. This is on some real stuff that will save souls. This is the difference between the Most High and these fake hypocrites. They're trying to make people feel good, like people pleasers. We're trying to save souls. That's the difference. You would know what the real ones is, because they're going to try to save a soul, not try to make somebody feel better about doing sin. Well, I'm going to tell you, if you continue to do sin, this is what the Most High say. This is what can happen to you. So when they do it, they're going to think about what the outcome going to be if they keep doing it. That's not what they're doing. They're trying to get people to feel like you shouldn't beat yourself up about it because everybody make mistakes. That's not saving a soul. That's not making somebody feel a certain way about doing something that's going to cause them to death. This is why we cannot congregate with unbelievers. This is what the Bible was talking about. We cannot. It's unequally yoked. They do not believe in what the Most High say, and they do not believe in the Most High, period. They all about trying to get people to feel good. Like, as long as I make somebody feel good, they would keep attending. They would keep attending here. They would keep coming here because it's a feel good, it's a feel good concert. That's not saving someone. And then you will hear the next week that so-and-so had a tragic incident or something that happened to this person because of what they're doing. They're not actually letting folks know the actual real truth of things. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I didn't like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You might have to do that. You really do. You might have to, do it, or at least put it on a button where you turn the language into a different, you turn the voice into a different language. They have that app too. I think there's an app that you could change the not just the voice, but you can change the language into a different language. But yeah, this was a good video. This is a good live. Okay, and the 4 lives will be on my YouTube channel, Sunflower Infinity. Okay, if you guys want to get the whole replay, and then if you guys want the replays from the other sessions, they're on my YouTube channel, Sunflower Infinity. You can go back there. It's like a whole 2 hours, whole live. So that you guys understand this information, because you're not gonna get it out here. It's a lot of programming out here. That's all it is out here. This adversary wants you to get far away from your actual creator, and they want you to be under a different God. They want you to worship a different creator. They don't want you, to have nothing to do with the Most High. They don't want you talking about it. They don't want you telling people, about actually what they really supposed to be doing and what they can really be, how they can really be saved if they follow this and if they obey this. They don't want you, talking about it. They want you into this. I still don't even know what they serve. I don't know who this thing or whatever they call it, But I know it's some religions that they have, and they're all in recruiting too. They're all in recruiting every day. They're trying to initiate you into some religion, and they want you to idolize this God that they serve. And then it's crazy because they made this, when how they set up Christ in the images that they had him looking like is ridiculous. They had him looking like some, I don't even know what that is. That's not how Christ looked. What is that? Anybody know who that was? I remember. Thank you, Spirit. They said that was Caesar Borgia. It was Caesar Borgia. It was like a some Russian I think some Russian male that's like bisexual. I think he's like bisexual. And his name is Caesar Borgia. You guys can go look it up if you guys want, to figure out, what they be having, in their buildings or whatever, where they worship at. They want you to worship to this idol. And if you really do the research, it's like he's like a Russian, a British bisexual man, and it's Caesar Borgia. Has nothing to do with Christ. That has nothing to do with the Most High. That ain't got nothing to do with you. But this is what they want. This is what they want. This is what they want you to be accustomed to. Mm-hmm. Does all angels? Oh, you guys be seeing? Yeah, you guys, your eyes will literally be open to you seeing like angels and stuff. We see demons every day, of course, but you guys, your eyes are gonna start, because this is what this awakening was about. You had to awaken to not just the information and the truth. You're going to be awakened. Your eyes is going to be awakened to actually seeing, angels. Just like your eyes have to be awakened to you seeing demons, your eyes are going to be awakened to seeing actual angels for real though. It's going to be like you're going to actually see them, which I've been seeing them. I've been seeing it, and I had to meditate a lot because my anxiety was getting shooken up. That's when I had problems with anxiety, because I start seeing the things that you're not supposed to see or whatever. And that's how my anxiety start it started rising. And I was like, okay, I got to figure out how to meditate more so that I can balance myself, and knowing that it's okay seeing this, because it's kind of like, you'll have your blood, your heart beating and all this stuff because you can't believe what you're seeing. But then again, we got to come to our state of mind to it being like, it's okay to see this. You're not going crazy. You don't, you're not on nothing. You're not going, you okay. This is okay. You got to kind of renew your mind to, to this new awakening that in level that you're on. To where you could see stuff that folks can't see on your level. And I seen, and I was just like, okay, now it ain't nothing to me. But at first I was kind of freaked out. I was going crazy, because I'm like, what was that? Like, what's going on? Because when you are just now awakening, they already made it clear that, they're around you. You will start hearing sounds, you will start you can start picking up smells, like smell like roses. They smell very good, like their scent, like the actual angel scent, they smell really good. You start really picking up smells, and they start kind of telling you with like sounds and stuff, like, I'm here, we're here, but then when you start actually seeing it, you like, you gotta kind of yeah. You say you kind of, because you get depressed about it? Why you get depressed? Yeah, that's a part of it. I have. Yeah. Like when you start seeing it, you do that. You kind of do, like, you trying to downplay it, You trying to downplay what you seen. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? You be trying to downplay it like that. That's what I did at first. I kind of like, because I wasn't at a level to where I was supposed to be at to even see that. Because you got to start, it's levels to this thing, Smells like gardinas. What is gardinas? If I'm saying it right. I don't know, but they smell really good though. I know they scent, and I'm like, wow. When I start like smelling different scents, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're here. Like, and then I have to ask to identify who it is. Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. It smells so, oh my God. I'd be like, wow, and it's a blessing. Now I just honor it. I just like praise every time they come. I just praise the Most High. Like, thank you, because it's so like, they have like a warm feeling you get when they're around, It makes you feel as though, they make you feel so protected. They make you feel as though, then it's like, they're around because lights and stuff start turning on. Like last night, I remember I walked outside because I got something from my car, and then the pole of the light had turned on. It was like shining bright. And I was like, oh my gosh, I knew that they was walking with me. You know what I'm saying? I knew, I could feel it, and I already knew. But sometimes, like, if they know that you're not ready for them, for you to actually see them, they would they would like coat themselves up to where you can't see them until you're ready, until you get to a level to where you won't freak out, So that's why I always say is levels to this thing. The Most High will not put nothing on you that He know that you can't bear. And that just goes for anything, that just goes for, like, if you know that, you're gonna freak out of something, you're not ready for, He's not gonna allow you to see it. He's not gonna allow you to, like, witness it until it's time, until you're at that level. You know, that's why, you know, I always say it's levels to this thing. It really is. You know, but the thing is, you're going to get there to that level. The Most High going to make sure you're going to get there. It don't matter where you at, you're going to get there. You know, that's what it's all about. You know, he said the Most High is all regions. Oh yeah, the Most High, yeah, he is. Yep. Yeah. He's everywhere. You know, he's all seeing, all knowing. You know, yeah, definitely a spirit. He's a spirit as well. You say, how does two masters work? Oh, it's if you want to read what I was talking about, the two masters, that's in Matthew's. In the if you go into your Bible, you can read Matthew's, and it talks about how there's two masters, meaning it's the Most High God, and it's this serpent. It's like Lucifer, you know, it's like Satan. You know, he's a god that a lot of people serve. A lot of people, you know, serve him. You know, like the people who sailed out go, you know, you have, in order to be under, you know, Lucifer, you have to sell your soul, you know. And a lot of people feel as though it's easier to worship and be under Satan than the Most High, because the Most High, he comes with laws, commandments, you know, that you have to abide by. But with Lucifer here, you know, Satan, it was stated that, you know, according to his kingdom, there is no laws. You know, they don't go by laws. They just go by you selling your soul. He wants your soul, you know, and this is what, you know, the Bible was stating. The Most High was stating that you can't serve two masters. You know, the Most High is not going to allow you to go over there and then be all of this devil and then come back to him as if you're under him. You know, he's basically saying you can't be a hypocrite. You either be over there, sell your soul, you're going to stay over there. You know, you either love one or hate the other. You either hate the other or love one. It's just one or the two. You know, you can't be, it ain't no juggling back and forth. You know, being a hypocrite. You can't do that. You know, that's all that it was stated. You know. But that's in Matthew's. If you want to read, go open your Bible and go to chapter of Matthew's. It talks all about it. You can go. It goes more into depth about it and how, you know, there was somebody who tried to do that. You know, they thought that they could do it. They can be double-minded and they can do that. And it was already stated that you can't do that. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna let you guys go because I only have 4% on my phone, and my whole phone turned dark, so I really can't see you guys. But again, I will post the whole live up on my YouTube channel. It might take like maybe an hour or so for it to post because it's like 2 hours. So yeah, it's gonna take some time. But you guys stay beautiful, stay fearfully, and you guys stay wonderfully made. I thank you guys for joining the live. We always have a good time. It's always edifying. And I would definitely be back on here tomorrow. Yes. Even though it's like 1 o'clock. But y'all know Fridays. Fridays is you have no time. It's just it come and go. Okay? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let me turn it off before it start it actually go. Okay. Yeah, we had a good time. Yeah, I got 2. Thank you. Yeah, my phone about to die. Okay. Let's go. Do I need to I need to go get me some. Oh. Okay. Damn.